3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum, and today we are continuing to cruise down Seaplane Lane. Ooh, that's actually like somebody wrote that, Kevin. Pretty good. Greg in the edit's even going to get excited. We're going to be talking about the Kawanishi, the H8K, or the Allied code name during the war, the Emily. So it was the Emily. I may use the term Emily during the program. That's actually kind of fun. But first, my hypothesis assistant. I am an apple a day keeps the seaplanes away. Is that what okay. I'm going to go ahead and try this. I understand that this was there's not a lot of Christmas, but this was Christmas colors. Okay, so we'll go with that. Nice toss, kind of floats there. Now, the Kawanishi, the Emily, first flight was in 1941. It was introduced in 1942. Now, this is not an Emily, but actually, for those of you at home, in the comments section, we are going to do this one. So if you know what this kind of looks like an Emily, but it's not. And this model has definitely seen better days. It's been like bounced off a wall. This had to have been a corporate model at one time that was commissioned, but it has definitely seen better days. So I'll throw up a plan view. Greg on the edit can throw up a plan view of the Emily. As I said, its first flight was in 1941. It was introduced in 1942, as I make sure that thing stays there. And it was retired with the defeat of Japan in 1945. Now, I'm going to make a bold statement about this aircraft in that it is widely regarded, the Emily is widely regarded as the best flying boat in World War II of anybody. So, hooray to the Japanese. There's a lot of people that argue that it was the epitome of the design. Now, the why? It was incredibly versatile. Remember, we've talked about some of the other flying boats being kind of clumsy in the attack role. This was not. It could be aggressive in the attack role, and it could also work well in reconnaissance. It had very strong defensive armament, so it was actually highly regarded by Allied pilots. In other words, they were very careful the way they attacked it. Now it's also a pretty good sized build rate of 167. So that's actually a quite a big build rate for a lot of these boats that we're seeing. The designer was Shizuo. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I apologize in advance. Kukuruma was the designer. So in Japanese, I apologize, but that was the designer. We need to recognize him. It, as I said, had very heavy defensive armament. It was involved in the second raid on Pearl Harbor in a high-level attack. There was cloud cover. It was not successful, but it was involved in the second attack where the Japanese sent some. What they're really trying to do is just keep the Americans on edge. And these seaplanes had gone out, been involved in refueling some of the Japanese subs, and then they came out and they actually flew a strike mission against Pearl Harbor. It was not successful, but 6 days after Pearl Harbor, they did do a reconnaissance. One of those aircraft did a reconnaissance overflight of Midway and was shot down by a radar-directed Brewster Buffalo. Greg can look that up in the edit. That's obscure. By the way, if you were a Brewster Buffalo pilot, you had about the life expectancy of about 23 seconds against a zero, but he came up against a flying boat and shot it down. The lieutenant that flew the attack at Pearl Harbor was killed in that shoot down. So very, very sad. It did all kinds of maritime interdiction missions. It did troop transports. It was basically all over the place. And as I said, very, very highly regarded. Now, I want to move into who I am going to salute today. And that is, we have talked about before about aircraft designers. There were Axis aircraft designers that did a fantastic job. I mean, look at the weapons that they designed were not used for good, right? They were used for the Empire of Japan or the Nazi Germany to do horrible things, but they really designed some interesting aircraft. So to those designers who pretty much get thrown by the wayside, in our stuff we've talked about, Kurt Tank as an example with Focke-Wulf, the 190, and a lot of other designers, but these Axis designers do not get their due in just in terms of technical design. So today we are going to look at what in the heck is this? I don't see this before this is Parrot Chia Seed Drink. Okay, you notice there's a long pause, 170 calories. It's wet, water, sugar, chia seed, whatever that is, and citric acid, artificial flavor, red dye number 40. I'm probably going to grow an arm out of. Oh, there's stuff floating in this thing. Oh my goodness. I'm actually taken aback by this. All right, so Kevin, yesterday I get something decent. Today, I am not sure what's in this, but we're going to go ahead and open it up. Oh, there was a little bit of a fizz there, but nothing on the top, so you don't know whether that's some sort of mold or mildew floating in there. And the label's falling off. Greg will be at home going, ha, 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 ha. All right. I think it should be carbonated, and it's not. It's flat, whatever it is. It's not horrible, although I'm ingesting whatever these seeds are, probably spores of death. A little flat. We're going to give it the 2-sip maximum there and move on. So the problem that happened with all of the Axis aircraft and you can argue with me in the comment section, from about mid-1943 on, as the Allies developed better types of aircraft and fielded aircraft that were comparable. In other words, the Germans and the Japanese had the technological lead at the beginning of the war, but by 43, you started to see types of aircraft both in the Pacific and Europe that were comparable or better than the Axis aircraft. As that improved and the skill training level of the pilots improved, the life expectancy of an Emily in the theater was really limited, and basically it just became a giant turkey shoot. And when we talk about the Marianas turkey shoot, but just in general, you have to take your hats off to the courage of some of these pilots to go up knowing that they're just not coming back. And on both the Germans and the Japanese, the life expectancy of their pilots dropped way off. These big airplanes, like we talked about with the BV-222, they had no life expectancy left. And so by the end of the war, most of these aircraft were sunk or destroyed. There were 4. Now think about this. I said the build rate was 167. There were 4 of these that survived to the end of the war. So think about the kill rate there, loss rate. Very, very high. They were, many of them were scuttled, just gotten rid of. As if they couldn't fly, they were completely useless. So the Japanese would sink them and get rid of them. of the 4 aircraft that survived to the end of the war, they all were used in evaluation squadrons. They were brought back and evaluated. And one, work number 426, returned to Japan in 1979, where it is on display. So one of them, unlike most of the aircraft, especially Axis aircraft that we've been talking about, one of them survived. So if you ever get to Japan, look that up on the internet and go over and see it, because it was a technological marvel of its time. Now, if you, for the holidays, want to amaze your friends and decorate your walls, you need to get this puzzle here. Well, let me see. Is a Kawanishi on here? I'm not sure. I don't see it. I don't think so, but there are a number of Axis types of aircraft on there, including the my Goombas, the Italians that are on there, the Pasta aircraft. But there's a lot of aircraft on there. This, if you want this, click on that link. We'll get it out. Hopefully, Jason can get one out for you by Christmas, and you will be the amazement of your friends. Now, we cannot do all of this. I'm standing in front of the Top Gun display in the Miles hangar. We can't do all of this without your donations. If you could please click on that link, donate a few bucks, we would greatly appreciate it. If you've come across us on YouTube or Facebook and you like basically one take videos, we just kind of call it like we see it and dive in there, and then we're out. I would ask you that you give us a subscription, forward us to your friends, give us a like or a comment. We always like your comments, even as much as you hate the drink or the hat. Go ahead and come after me. It's okay. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.